ताको सला बोलिंग करके ताको ठंडा करूची आउट करूची सेही भले तमे सब बसछ पर जेमते माने सो तेणु you must also come forward, speak, okay? ଦି दिन तले मु NIFT जाइथिली, नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ फैशन टेक्नोलॉजी जाइथिली, से पिलाडा तो बेसिकली डिफरेंट ओरिएंटेशन तांकर अछि किंतु तुम विश्वास करबोनी दे इमीडिएटली आस्क्ड मी ने आमे से प्रेजेंट करिवो, सो दे फॉर्म 5 ग्रुप्स and 5 minute माने 10 मिनट प्रेजेंटेशन कले. I was completely amazed by the quality of that presentation. It is another matter जे तांकर मार्क रे सेना पोस्ट पडिवो बुझले कि सो क्वालिफाई करछि मार्क रे. So but even I mean accounting for that, it was a very praiseworthy effort. बहुत भल लागला पते से नेट रू पढ़ी नेट रू देखते जदि मैंने अनेक कथा से कहते व्हिच दे हैव नॉट अंडरस्टूड. आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? वन ऑफ द थिंग्स वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग्स इन इकोनॉमिक्स होची नॉन इकोनॉमिक्स लोक माने इते कॉन्फिडेंटली इकोनॉमिक्स कथा कहबे तो सरा एटा मारे ठीक होची कि भूल होची को मतलब आश्चर्य हो जिवो बुझले कि मो अनेक समय जो टीवी डिबेट रे जाए देखियो सब पॉलिटिशियंस माने सीधे अदर डे सब बीजेपी कांग्रेस होतले मु केडा सब कोटो सब तथ्य सब पाउछन सर आप मान सब पूरा सब नुआ नुआ कथा कहउचंती नुआ अर्थनीति बही लेखन सर कहीं अपन सब so many things, you know, one of the things I found during the presentation that they have not understood many terms kintu but they are confidently making a presentation on those terms anyway. So सेइथिरे मु को भाबुची त माने केतळे गोटे I will come back on 16th मु 10 रे जाउची बॉम्बे 16th मु आउची तमे ओडिसा बजेट ऊपर प्रेजेंट करो. ओडिसा बजेट हे थियो हैला form 5 groups small groups तमे करो तमे सब कोन कहउछ. Do you agree with me or not? ताल तमर कॉन्फिडेंस ही बढ़िबो. आमे क्लास मु खाली क्लास नेबी तो कॉन्फिडेंस बहुत बढ़िबो. इत्ते सुंदर कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़िबो तमे विश्वास करबो. आमे सब माने नुआ नुआ गलु दिल्ली फिली गलु आम हाण मुह को गला को लागु थाए सब प्रेजेंटेशन करो किंतु हां कम अच्छी करिवो no problem. I have no issues at all. So what I will do, let me first make a beginning. को किछ असुविधा नहीं, absolutely no problem. Let me first make a little beginning. मुझे आरंभ कर दिए हैला ट्रेलर के पके दिए तापर तो सिनेमा आरंभ करिवो हैला. Let me set the हैला set the tempo तापर तमे टिके करिवो किछ असुविधा नहीं. की तमर हाथ देखलो की सब हां very good बहुत बढ़िया ओके. So first टिके नोट करो ये how do we define budget. तमे लिखा दो how do we define a budget. हमें बजट कहूचे कौन कहूचे तार बजट माने कौन. So please remember we have article 112 of the constitution which talks about budget. तो सबोले अपन रखियो any answer that you give in economics, try to relate it to the Indian constitution. One of the reasons why my articles get published almost every paper now is because I connect economics with the constitution. Because constitution whichever party comes to power, it is expected that they follow the constitution. It will be a hierarchy. Are you getting my point? You cannot say, you may not like the constitution, some aspects, but you cannot say, no, I will not obey the constitution. Are you getting my point? So this is the template for all of us. It is neither your Vedas nor Gita or your Quran or Bible, which is important. This is the text. This is the text for all of us. Many people ask me, the other day more gote sanga se gote foreigners leki jaithila puri jaithila se kala So like, why am I am not being admitted? Why I am not being admitted? So why I am not being admitted to Puri temple? Under which article of the Indian Constitution? When I जाइଥିଲି पुरी को ଗୋଟେ ସାଙ୍ଗଟେ ତାର ଗୋଟେ foreigner को ନେଇକି ଯାଇଥିଲା ସେ ସେଇଠୁ ଗୋଟେ excited କି ମତେ phone କରୁଛି he is a teacher in KIT International School कि why is he not being admitted? तो एसएन मिश्र तो कहूछ एटा गोटे हमर गोटे आइडियल संविधान on what basis he is not being admitted? हाँ मंदिर को सो मु कहली आपन के मु से बहुत रागी गिरे अछि हमको अछि तेनो ठीक अछि. So what we'll do today, since you are here, what we'll do today, I will give a little introduction. तो बेटी बसनो दियो इथे सारू भी छाड़ना आ कोठे गोटे बसिया पे सारू बस बस गोटे सारू छाड़ हां सारू भी छाड़ मु तो हमर अच्युत सामंत को बसि दिछि क्लास रे मोर कोन से थरे आसले कहले भाईना केम कोन मु बसनो तमे बसियो टिके किछि पाठसट पढनो तमे बस टिके कहला हां बसि तारे बसले से 69 हो कि 70 हो किंतु आम सामने से छुआ बुझले कि आम सामने से छुआ नेचुरली कहीं ना मु तक बयस अधिका माने तमे अवश्य माने स्टैच्यूर रे मोठो अधिका किंतु दैट डजंट मीन. सो व्हाट आई विल डू टुडे फ्रेंड्स एमाने तीन जण प्रिपेयर करछन 5 मिनिट से प्रेजेंट करिवे बट बिफोर दैट आई विल सेट द कॉन्टेक्स्ट so that all of you are in the same page. When we talk of the budget, we have to refer to the Indian Constitution, where we have Article 112, which says that the finance minister must present in the two houses, present in the Lok Sabha, a statement of expenditure and receipts. Please note down, a statement of expenditure and receipt. Statement of expenditure and receipts. So please remember that the part A of the budget is expenditure and part B is the receipt part. So when any finance minister all over the world, when they make a presentation on the budget, they will first make a statement of expenditure. कौन किंतु खर्च होगा, not कौन receipt होगा. Are you getting my point? Now, why is it so? Why expenditure is first made and why receipts are not made? It is largely because, please note down, there was a famous economist. His name was Dalton. He made a distinction between private budget and a public budget. Between a private budget and a public budget. All of you get some pocket money. I get salary. He gets his income. So how is our budget different from the budget which is presented by the finance minister or which would be presented by the finance minister? Can somebody tell me? जी कहि दो बेटा को से जानि जे माने से एकदम how is private budget different from public budget? Capital budget, profit welfare नहीं ठीक खबर आउट ये कोट गया चेष्टा करो welfare okay आउट कोट गया. Please note down, in a private budget, please note down, in a private budget, an individual adjusts expenditure to income. If I am getting 1 lakh as a pension, my budget would be how to adjust my expenditure. Have you understood? I know that the possibility of my increasing my income is limited. That income he pare most pare loan nahi pare, sasu kichhi nahi pare, sang nahi pare. But I know there are limits to borrowing. Please note down, there are limits to borrowing. For private individuals, there are definite limits to borrowing. I cannot borrow from America. I cannot borrow from another state. So please remember, for an individual, private individual, the latitude of income is limited. Latitude of getting money is limited. जितने तमें पिटापिटी हो जहाँ हो पचे, तुम्हारे income is clearly known, and your maneuverability to get more and more money is limited. Now, public expenditure, please note, on the other hand, public expenditure, the finance minister adjusts income to expenditure. What does he do? She adjusts what? Income to expenditure. Why is it so? Please note down that if you are a finance minister, if you are the prime minister of a country, if you are the prime minister of a country or a finance minister of a country, there are some expenditure you have to undertake as a sovereign country. Are they? Defense. Can you say more tonka nahi mo country ko defend karbi nahi? Can you say that? Can you say that? You cannot say that. So please remember, in a budget, there are many committed liabilities. We call them as committed liabilities. Like as I said, defense. If you have taken a loan from a foreign government, you have to repay it. Please note down, loan repayment is a committed liability. You have no choice. If you default, you will be called a failed state. There are many countries like Bangladesh, for instance, at one point of time was almost being a failed state. Pakistan, for instance, at some point of time was defaulting on loans. Greece was defaulting. Please come. Greece was defaulting in 2008. Are you all getting me? So, if you are the finance minister of a country, please remember, you cannot default on a loan. So you can't default on a loan. So first defense. Second loans. You have to pay them. If you are to be called a sovereign country and not a failed country, you are not a banana republic. What is a banana republic? Banana republic is a country jodi toka debe ki no debe kichi thikora nahi. Banana republic. बुझल ना आजी पैसा दबो के न दबो अरे सेटा उटा सा निहाती टंका पैसा जमा देनी मोर बहुत साग अछंती सेनो करिवे आमे सकाळे 73 रे से गोटे टंका हमको लागे कोन कला ब्रेकफास्ट हम लागे से गुडो थेबे टंका दबो तो तुम जानि जे टंका मिलियो नाही तीन चार थर आला तो मार टंका तो चार थर मोसर नै छन टंका नै सेलोडी so you become a failed. So credibility is so low that nobody gives you money. So the point, please remember, is that a government has many committed liabilities. In the defense, loans, pay and allowances of people. You have to pay them. Pension. People like me have to be paid a pension. Whether you like it or not. Pension. Are you getting my point? बुच्चो के नहीं किछि उपाय नहीं बुढ़ा नबो पैसा लख टका नबो मास मास शेष रे तंटी चिपी के नबो किछि काम करू न करू से these are called, please note down, committed liability. These are called committed liability. Are you all getting me? Committed liability. So what if the committed liabilities are more than tax? Please note down, there could be a situation where your committed liability जहाँ तुम्हें तर 50 लाख कोटी तुम नोट करो 50 lakh crore is the budget of मोटा मोटा तो मन रखो 50 lakh crore is the budget of 25-26 मोटा मोटा फिगर प्रथम मन रखियो कितने खर्च हो जाए 50 lakh crores. Are you all getting me? 50 lakh crore. Now what if that your tax receipts are only 35 crores, 35 lakh crores, which is the case. Our tax receipt hochi jama 35 lakh crores. Baki 15 lakh koti tanka loans no padibo. And the loans can be, please note down, the loans can be from within the country and from outside. What is the percentage of loans from outside and what is the percentage of loan from within the country? Go. Make a guess. Go. Okay. Outside. How anybody can improve on that? Anybody can improve on that? Anybody can improve. How do you chesta karo? You are almost close to the target. Anybody else? नहीं तुम्हें गालो बेटा कोई से पाखी अच्छी है प्रा एकदम पाखी की अच्छी स्टंप पाखी एकदम बैट पाखा पाखी अच्छी एकदम को anybody else 93 and 7 please note down 93 and 7% we take loans but there was a time in 1956 please note down 1956 जेतबेले India second plan कला our loan was 45%. Please note down 45%. 45% was loan in 1956. जेतबेले महालनबीस plan हला, इशू steel plant हला, fertilizer हला, ये सब hugely government borrow कला, सेतबेले आमर borrowing. So India is one of the very few countries which borrow very little, very little. It's a very good record for any country. Any country which borrows less than 10% is a very sound economy. Are you getting my point? It's a very sound economy. So, I am fiscal deficit kintu we have to see what is the quantum of our external borrowing. I mean, external borrowing ta kootha anuche ti kahela tike kette budhya su achi koot ame taka milibo koothu IMF how World Bank how Asian Development Bank how
Development Bank
RBI ta koda asigala sethi RBI ta kote asla RBI ta kona bahare RBI ta bahare ki bharat bahare ki mu pacharuchu to mu prashna kono अच्छा concession loan तुम सब दोस्तों से नहीं सब concession loan दोस्तों से नहीं माने you are getting loans from other. This is what we call as external commercial finance. Okay. So anyway, as far as public budget is concerned, we first look at our committed liabilities and then see what is the size of our income and then try to see how much borrowing we can make. So basically, to cut the long story short, okay. So a budget as per as Article 112 is concerned, looks at the size of expenditure, looks at the size of receipt, and looks at the size of deficit. So there are three components: expenditure, income, and borrowing. So therefore, is it clear to all of you? So therefore, the finance minister has to look at these three components. What would be the expenditure? Now, in expenditure is of two types. What are the
planned and non-planned?
Capital expenditure.
Gote minute. Gote hala capital, gote hala revenue. Se gote amaro online re kahile plan or non-plan. एटा ऊपर कहार मतामत कौन अछि की कहि परिबे की
सर नॉन प्लान मु कहबे की
नहीं प्लान नॉन प्लान रे अछि ना गलाणी केबेठु गलाणी केबेठु केबेठू
2014
2014 गिफ्ट में बिग है
नीति आयोग আসলে পরে
2014 পরে we don't have a distinction between plan and non-plan. Okay. Now, what is the implication of that? Plan non note karo please. Plan non-plan जो difference चली गया. What is the implication of that? What was the situation earlier? जी online थला मत को. What is the implication of that? Have you understood the question? Earlier there was plan allocation and non-plan allocation. Plan allocation टा किए करथला?
planning commission
Planning commission करथला. What was the percentage of allocation they were doing? Anybody? Please note down 1/3. 33% was being done by planning commission. And the rest was being allocated by whom? By whom? Ministry of Finance. Please note down. By Ministry of Finance. Have you understood? Are you all getting me? Before 2014, 1/3 of the expenditure was being allocated as plan funding by the Planning Commission. And the rest of it by whom? By the Ministry of Finance. So after 2014, the entire expenditure is allocated by the Ministry of Finance. Is that clear? And expenditure today is being shown in two heads, revenue and capital. मैं तो को अब बेसी प्लान जाऊनी माने नहले आबे एई थरे जो माने आज ट्रेलर रे ही चली जीवो बजेट सरी जीवो सिनेमा को ही जाई परिबानी बुझले कि ए ट्रेलर रे ही सिनेमा चल जीवो बुझले कि you all getting me? So today we are only having revenue and capital expenditure. Now let us come to what is the definition of a revenue budget. Capital budget or difference definition ko. Okay. So let us now note down se कहला कौन कहला asset creation.
long term investment
Asset creation. How kono?
Expected to earn something in future.
Okay. So please note down first, anything above 10 lakh and has a life of more than 7 years is called an asset. Please note down, this is very important. Anything which is more than 10 lakhs, any equipment, any land, any building, if it is more than 10 lakh and has a life of more than 7 years is called capital expenditure. এইটা তো আমি সমস্ত স্যার এই জ্ঞানটা কোথা আপনি পাইলে এই জ্ঞানটা দউছি কিয়ে না C&AG Comptroller and Auditor General is responsible for defining what is a revenue expenditure and what is a capital expenditure. Are you all getting me? It is the responsibility of the C&AG. So C&AG has defined that any asset with a value of more than 10 lakh and a life of 7 years. So please, so all your land, building, plant and equipment. Please note down. Land, building, plant and equipment. Only these three are shown in capital expenditure. Are you all getting me? Please, total clarity. Are you getting my point? You must have complete clarity. Asset money, not only asset over a long period of time, no, more than 7 years. So anything, suppose your computer life is 5 years, it will not be considered an asset. But if the life of a computer is more than 7 years, it is considered an asset. There are factory achi. Supposing you have a laptop whose life is only 5 years, it will not be treated as an asset. It will be considered as a consumable. Are you getting my point? Only when it is 7 years or more. Please remember this. This is very, very important. And this is a definition adopted by every country. Pratyek desare eta gote uniformity ame rakhuchu. Are you all getting me? So is it clear to all of you? So capital dar ki pachala, capital includes land, building, plant and equipment. Aircraft tame import kalo. Supposing you are improving the life of an aircraft, it is not a capital asset. A ghar repair hala, it's not a capital expenditure. Supposing there is an improvement to this house, that's not a capital expenditure. Are you all getting me? So that building, supposing you a temporary shed banocho, it is not an asset. You a temporary shed korcho, it is not an asset. Anything more than 7 years life, that's very important. Revenue recon konasla, what all will come in revenue? Pay and allowances, please note down, pay and allowances. All your revenue expenditure asla tomorrow, stores expenditure, transportation, miscellaneous expenditure, all these things which is necessary for maintenance of a system. Gote country ko maintain kare pai jaha darkar, and within a year, please note down, anything above a year is considered as capital. Are you all getting me? So revenue expenditure is basically whatever is spent within the year. Is that clear to all of you? So, therefore, as per the Constitution, now Constitution also says expenditure would be of two types. Gotala charged, or gotala voted. One minute. Demand for grants that is expenditure gote please note down. Gote kon कहली charged expenditure और voted expenditure. कहितले समस्त को जी कहितबो कोन charged expenditure आछी को हां court award, very good. Court award, court and please note down, court and arbitration award. Not only court award, interest payment, okay, very good. Tapare salary to constitutional authorities, please note down, constitutional authorities except CEC, election commission, chief election commissioner chadikiri jette constitutional authority achanti, they are covered, their salary is covered except chief election commission. Tapre au kono court award, interest payment, tapre salary au kono au kichhi nahi, ete need. What is the size of the interest payment in India? Can somebody tell me? Out of 1 rupee, how much is the interest that we are paying? 20?
19 paisa.
23%. About 23%. 23%. Loan is around 33%. Please note down. The component of loan, total loan, is 33%, 1/3, 33 paisa. Our interest payment is around 23%. Okay. So, court and arbitration award, interest payment, and salary to constitutional authority. Etiki tinta hala charged expenditure. So, what is the difference between the charged expenditure and voted expenditure? No, charged expenditure, can it be discussed in the parliament? Yes, it can be discussed. Yes, it can be discussed, but it cannot be voted. It can be discussed. Please remember, it is not as if that you cannot discuss it. It can, but it cannot be put to vote. Nirmala Sitharaman is asking for 17 lakh crores as borrowing. So it will not be put to vote, but it can be discussed. It cannot be criticized. Please remember, it cannot be criticized. But this is unlike many countries. USA, for instance, borrowing is put to vote. Borrowing. Most countries borrowing is debated and put to vote. Many countries like Obama wanted to increase the borrowing ceiling. That was not approved. That was not approved. It's put to vote. But in India, borrowing is not put to vote. Borrowing is not put to vote. So eti kala pare, So I'll go to 1 or 2 slides and then we will. तब की कौन प्रिपेयर कर जो तब एग्रीकल्चर ओके तापरे हाँ कोंडा वेरी गुड तापरे आओ के बहुत बढ़िया सो एटा गुटी आकु नमा केम नबा एमति कले हबो आकु so before we come to the budget I have tried to be as precise as possible so that basic कथा तुम पढ़िबो ताले जे the economic survey is presented by the chief economic advisor जो थे कि he brings up the health card, the economic health card of the government. कौन है health card? प्रथम कथा कहउचंती से he looks at the global situation. Global, what is the global GDP growth? Please note down 3.3. What would be the growth in the advanced countries? 1.3%. Developing economy kete habo 4.2 and inflation has moderated globally. Eta mo already podi sarchi je inflation has come down. Jota ko ei je amaro COVID samare more than 10% thila, it has come down. So by and large global economic outlook is not buoyant but it is stable. Please note down. Global growth and inflation outlook is stable. So the answer kariyo global economic, global growth and inflation outlook is stable and moderate. ये बोले English लिखे ले तो मैं जानी में बुझा था stable and moderate. ताले सेम जानी में जो तो मैं पूरा clearly बुझा. As far as India is concerned, our real GDP forecast is how much? 6.3 to 6.8. Can somebody tell me what was the growth last year, 23-24? 6.4%. What was the growth in 22-23? Anybody? 8%. Please note down 8%. Please note down 22-23 rehla 8%. 23-24 rehla about 6.4%. Now it is being around 6.3 to 6.8%. So it is much better than what is happening outside India. Okay. Please note down the nominal GDP. Please note down nominal GDP would be how much? 10%. Nominal GDP. Please note down nominal GDP minus inflation is real GDP. Nominal inflation minus inflation is the real GDP. ଆମର जो टंकाटा बढ़ीची से थ्रू दे हम इन्फ्लेशन ता नहीं जिबा ताले तमरो रियल इंक्रीज हो. जस्ट टू गिव एन एग्जांपल तर तम 10% तमरो सैलरी बढ़ला. ओके तर सैलरी तमरो 10% बढ़िला किंतु इन्फ्लेशन हेची 6%. तल तमरो नेट केते पाइलो 4%. लाइक फॉर इंस्टेंस तमे गोटा बैंक रे रखुचो फिक्स्ड डिपॉजिट रखुचो बैंक रे फिक्स्ड डिपॉजिट रे पाउचो केते धर पाउचो अबाउट 7% पाउचो. So the inflation hala kete 4.5%. What is your real interest? 7 minus 4.5, which is around 2.5%. Anyway, agriculture. Please note down agriculture. Expectation is 1.8%. Last year, please note down. Last year it was 1.5%. So we have done better in agriculture. We have done better in agriculture. Industry we had done better last year. Slightly it has come down. Services also slightly come down, but by and large all the sectors are doing well. Tapare asiba banks udaka. Banks ko aso. Banks rela return on asset. Return on asset is around 1.4%. Return on asset. Jaha asset achi tara net return. It is public sector bank. Please note down public sector bank. Can somebody tell me what is the return on asset of a private sector banks, MNC? Kete difference aସୁଛି? Kete habo? around 3%. Please note down the return on asset of a multinational bank or a private bank is around 3%. 3%. And for public sector banks, it is around 1.2%. Non-performing asset, please note down, non-performing asset is 2.6%. But the loans which are in default is only 2.6%. It is a very reasonable figure. This is one of the success stories of India, that our non-performing asset percentage is good. तपर agriculture presentation करिवो मते कहलो जो किसान जो लोन दउचे, please note down, जो किसान लोन दउचे, so they have increased it to how much? To 5%. 5%. Can somebody tell me what is the non-performing asset, non-performing loan in kisan loans? Have you understood the question? ये जो किसान को जो लोन दिया जाउची, ये होची दरिया में डाल, पूरा जबो तो भिकमंगा उड़ा का सब कार्ड लगे किरी जिन तमरा जो मो पुओ जेमति मोर कविता स्कूल हमथला त चारटा कार्ड तारा कोथरे पैसा नहीं से जो किसान कार्ड रे डिफॉल्ट, कैन somebody tell me what is the default percentage? Please note down, 25%. 25% is the default. खाली मैं कहूँ किसान कार्ड करिया बुझले कि किंतु से default percentage is very very high. Are you getting my point? As a civil servant, you must understand जे माने ता भितरे पेंच अछि, ए जो ओवरऑल फिगर पछरे पेंच अछि किसान का, हैला. So the economic survey says we should try to boost consumption demand. Please note down, consumption demand, private investment and employment. कहीं किसी पागल कहीं कुछ private investment बढ़िया पे कहीं कुछ मत कहलो. Why everybody is looking at private investment? Please note down. तबे फिगर उडा कहबो ऑनलाइन जो मन अच्छे से फिगर मत कहबो. ए गोटे टेबल करो टोटल. मु गोटे ईयर तो तुम कहूची 2007-2008. This is considered to be the best year that India had. हैला. तो मते पचारने से मनमोहन सिंह थिला कि नरेंद्र मोदी थिला कि जानिया दरकार नहीं. I mean, we should try to find out what was the best year. What was the best year? 2007. So private investment lekha was 7%. Public investment was 28%, and total investment was how much? हैला. Please note down. मते तबे कहयो वर्तमान 23-24 आउ 24-25 रे केते फिगर सिस्टम करो. 1 minute केते प्राइवेट हला एटा एटा सॉरी एटा होच कि उल्टाटा कर दीजिए. एटा है पब्लिक, एटा हला प्राइवेट. सॉरी, एटा हला प्राइवेट. एक्सट्रीमली सॉरी. So 23-24 रे व्हाट इज द पब्लिक इन्वेस्टमेंट केते?
7.
8 अभी 7.
ये 22 and 23.
Now tell me 23-24 रे what was the private investment? Anybody? 23-24 रे
23.
Please note down. From 2007-2008, please note down, till 22-23, private investment has been around 23%. Private investment ra meter ta jama bodhuni. Are you getting my point? बुझी पड़छो तो? So in 24-25, there has been a slight increase here. Now, why everybody is saying?
Incoming voice call from MSI.
Sir, the class no chi phone kari pare. So why everybody is saying that private investment? Try to understand this. Why everybody is saying that private investment कमे बढ़ेगा? Anybody? को नहीं ठीक है आउट भाभी को कहें कि why तुम private investment टा कहें कि बढ़ेगा? What is the main purpose? तुम कही तेली what is G? What is G? G is equal to S by C or I by C. G is equal to, please note down, G is equal to what? Growth is equal to saving divided by incremental capital output ratio. Please note down, incremental capital output ratio. Incremental capital output ratio बना है efficiency of capital and labor. Incremental capital output ratio. Are you all getting me? Incremental capital output ratio. So, if your I is 30 and your ICOR is 4.8, so what is the G then? Divide करो 30 divided by 4. वर्तमान India रा ICOR, please note down, ICOR is how much? 4.8. कितना होची? 30 divided by 4.8 कितना होची? 7 पढ़ो होची? 6.25. Exactly, 6.25. This is what the growth is. Are you all getting me? 6.3 ହେଲା ପାଇଁ ଆମର investment କେତେ होची? 30 होची ଆଉ ICOR କେତେ होची? So what to become Vikasit Bharat? तब presentation पूର୍ବରୁ to become, please note down, if you want to become a Vikasit Bharat, our growth has to be, please note down, 8%. Please note down. All of you must understand that the budget so far, 2 budgets by Arun Jaitley and 8 budgets by Nirmala Sitharaman, all are geared to Vikasit Bharat. Are you getting my point? Vikasit Bharat re growth kete habo? 8%. For achieving 8%, please note down, we need to achieve 35% in investment and bring down ICOR from 4.8 to 4.4. Please note down. अरे विकसित भारत जो करिबा विकसित भारत पई बुझले कि दीपक आमरो ग्रोथ टा from 6%, 6.3%, we need to increase it to 8%. The key to China becoming a global power was because for almost 15 years, they had a growth of almost 10%. So how was it achieved? Please note down, China achieved 10% growth. It was largely because, please note down, their saving was 40. Please note down, saving percentage was 40. And their ICOR was 4. अरे बुझी पड़तु कि नहीं? चाइना जो 10% करथला तार इन्वेस्टमेंट केते होतला 40. What was its ICOR? 4. Therefore, what was the growth? Is it clear? Is it clear? For 15 years after 1980, China achieved 10% growth because its saving was 40% and the incremental capital output ratio was 4 because they invested heavily in education and skill. Please note down. They their ICOR, are you all getting me? The key to growth of China was because of 2 things. One is it was a country where saving was very high, around 40%. Not only saving was very high, But the ICOR, the capability of people, the efficiency of people and capital was better than us. Amar jata 4 point, amar India kitni thala? Amar India hai Bharat Mahan amar 30, it hela 4.8. It hela mad khai gala 6.3 rahe. Buchi parcho ke nahi? Have you understood this story? Have you understood? So we need to improve our ICOR, our capability of our people, skill level of our people. Our employability must improve. Judak so 6,000, 7,000 pauchunti, they must get 15,000. Toman so OS officer hai ki paigiri, motte gaadi diyo. Gaadi re bulo. Bujhu to. When your ICOR will improve, you will all become tahsildars. I'm not joking. That is the key. The job of this particular academy is to improve your ICOR. Nothing else. Nothing else. Tum court mein bacho. To improve your ICOR. Are you all getting me? So, therefore, you consume private investment of employment. So, private investment doesn't depend on the government. So, government is trying to, jodi consumption demand ta body wo tale private investment. So, what are the two things that we need to do? To lekho got a line, let us sum it up. For achieving the target of Vikasit Bharat, for achieving the objective of Vikasit Bharat, India needs to improve its investment from the existing 30% to around 35%. From 30% to 35%, which will be largely driven by an increase by private investment from 23% to 28%, which will be driven by private investment from existing 23% to 28%, and reduction in or improvement in productivity by reducing ICOR from Rosalind 4.8 to 4.4. Full stop. Therefore, budget as an instrument should promote please note down, promote public investment, B, consumption demand, and create enabling conditions for productivity of Indians to improve by investing improve productivity by investing handsomely in skill development. Can somebody read it out? Last sentence. तांग बुझियो तने को पढ़ो को हाँ पढ़ो.
Improvement in productivity, I say, therefore, budget.
Therefore,
Sound should promote
the budget instrument.
Instrument should promote public investment.
Promote what? First is public investment. Public investment. 1 minute. Public investment माने public capital expenditure. Hela. It has to सरकार हाथ Okay. Second, tapre
Consumption demand.
consumption demand केमती consumption demand बढ़िबो by reducing taxes. Consumption demand कमियो केमती consumption demand बढ़ियो केमती tax कमे so that you have more disposable income. And C, and creating enabling conditions for productivity of the workers through skill development programs. अरे बुझी पड़छो ना नहीं? Three things. One is public investment. गोटे हला consumption demand increase कला. Third हला skill development. जदि एई तीनटा कथा बुझी तमे आमे देखिया बजेट रे एई तीनटा प्रावधान कोन हेई छी. Are you getting my point? So 30 बुझी पड़छो ना नहीं? तमे जदि कहबो जे 30 टा 35 हबो 30 टा 35 immediately हबोनी. से 30 टा 35 केमिति हबो? कोन माने what is that government doing? So that is what we need to see in the budget. बुझी पड़छो ना नहीं? Have you understood the whole challenge before the? So boost consumption demand कहितली. तापरे private investment सेथरे तमरो employment बढ़ेला. Please note down, not only employment, employability. Whether you are employable. तुमको तमे धरा आमर एठी जे करूचंती डाक्टरी करी जाउचंती गवर्नमेंट कॉलेज रे सेना अमेरिका आउथर ताको बीबीएस आउथर करे पड़छ. They are not employable. The quality they do not consider a degree from Cuttack government college. ब्रदर-इन-लॉ तांकर झियो बाहाय करी गला एठी एमबीबीएस करके मन रे चूड़ा खाइ के थिला सेटे पुन थरे एमबीबीएस कला. कहले we don't recognize this. You are not employable. If you are from IIT like Deepak, जुआडे गला ताको जॉब मिलला. कीटरू करिचो अच्छा हो टिके बाजू हे गला टिके बाजू हे जा नहीं सर मु बहुत बड़ा टिके बाजू हे जा बुझला त तर मु कहबी मु उत्कल इन्वेस्ट एमए मु कहबी दिल्ली स्कूल रू मु करिछि. Are you all getting me? Agi class. I'm not joking because you know your employability is a function. Your employability is a function of the skill sets that you. So this is what the. Now we come to the next one. Before you guys make a presentation, ये जो कथा में कहूचे, जे India is doing well. Please take a picture. The India is doing well. It's a beautiful graph which takes how India growth projection by the IMF is better than almost every country. Just see here. So India is doing better than others. India is doing well, but you know, our per capita income, please note down, per capita income, please note down, is still much lower. Much lower. We are 126 in the per capita income. Overall GDP, please note down, overall GDP, we are number 5. But in per capita GDP, we are still 126th. Okay, we are still quite low. Please note down, foreign direct investment. Please note down, we have done extremely well. We have done extremely well. From, Deepak, see here, from just $2 billion in 2000, we are around $80 billion now. In this budget, please note down, in this budget, insurance sector, they have made it 100%. 100% FDI can come in the insurance sector. So India is promoting more and more foreign direct investment. Are you all getting me? India is promoting foreign direct investment. Just see here, please note. एवढा सब note करो. कौन first है कौन डाला? First है per capita income. तापरे कौन ला FDI. तापरे non-performing asset. Please note down, in 2018, it was around 11%. So, decimal number ki asubidha nahi. 11% likhle more than enough. Now it is around 2.8%. Please note down. It is now 2.8%. Please note down. non-performing assets of the bank. So banks are in good health. In 2018, banks were in a bad state. Now they're in a good state. Okay, we are not getting into the details now, but as you know, a person who would get into government job, you must have clear. Why do you think that India is doing well? We are on a good path. We are the fastest growing country. Our FDI, so it is a global. Everybody wants to invest in India. Our banks are doing well. Just see here. So this is how 2007, 2008 କହିଥିଲି ତମକୁ କେତେ ଥିଲା ଦେଖୁଛ ତ so that was coming 29.8 ଥିଲା ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ 30 ରେ ଅଛି ହେଲା ଏଇ ଭଳିଆ ଡାଟା ତମର ବୁଝୁଛ ତ ସବୁ ବୁଝିପାରୁଛ ନା ନାହିଁ so it is not achieved that when we are talking of Vikasit Bharat ଏମିତି ନୁହଁ ଯେ India had not achieved that. India had achieved. Please note down that in 2007-2008 our ICO was 4.4. Please note down. माने एमिते नुह जे भारत करनथिला. In 2007-2008 our incremental capital output ratio was 4.4. Yes. Huh. But there has been a lot of cleanup also. They have been able to recover. जो IBC है जी, जो insolvency and banking code है जी, insolvency and banking जो 16 है. You cannot say that it has been a complete failure. There has been a few haircuts. ये जो कथा से कहूँ lot of waivers have been given. माने अनेक गुड़ा bad loan को waiver दिया जाए ची, but we have also recovered. There are many entities from where we have recovered also. It is a mixed bag. माने what I am trying to say, जी तमें तो सी loan टा को धर के बसले हवन ना, सी देनी दबो के बे तको so you have to also waive it. So you have to मैंने कथा होची कौन if the banks are in a bad health and corporates also are in debt, perpetual debt, so why would they go to the bank? माने are you getting me? माने unless you clean up the books on both ends, nobody will come for a fresh loan ना. तो मैं दी गला के नहीं है कि आपको 5 थिला सिर्फ ठीक करंतु. So you have to take hard decisions. Are you getting my point? You have to take very hard decisions. जहाँ जाओ अरे तमें तो you have to take the country out of a depression ना. माने सीटा धरी की गट्टी धरी की बसिले हबो क्या हो? You have to see ultimately your financial system must work well. People must come to the bank to take loans, fresh loans. तमें से माल्या कथा भाबिकिरी माल्या दारू पीकिरी बाहर को पड़ेला बाहर बुलुची सार तार टंका. So but we have recovered also. But if you really look at the performance of IBC, we have done reasonably well in recovery also. But yes, you have a point there, but a lot of money also has been waived. You take haircut, we call it as a haircut. So the government has taken, given haircut. So it has happened, But now I will, after this, you will make the presentation. Okay, first, what are the thrust areas? Please note down. What I have done here, I have identified in my own way what are the thrust areas. Okay, first, consumption boost of the middle class through tax cuts. Can somebody tell me how many taxpayers would be benefited by this? GA Kohibo, including Deepak, say Paivo Saratoga. Simply Galua Katha Koile Havo. Kette Loko Ethereka. How many people? It has already been assessed. On a Poruno paper. So, what I have done, please note down, all articles which have been published after the budget. So, from the finance ministry, the ministry is giving now details. Kitte people would be affected, kitte loko saving over. खाली हमें जानी छे केते व्हाट दी गवर्नमेंट केते चुना लागिवो 1 लाख करोड़ एति खाली सुन लो तमे लक्षे कोटी टंका चुना लागिवो ए तो जानछ तो एति खाली खाली कहले 1 lakh crore is what the government will forego. But how many people will benefit out of that, including yours truly? जी कह दो पाखापाखि जी कह दो से सर दीपक तुम कह डायरेक्टर हिसाब से कह तुम केते तुम कह तुम सब प्लीज नोट डाउन 37 million people would be benefited by this tax cut. 37 million people. And what is the expectation of the government? Is your tax cut halai 37 million ro? What is the MPC? Can somebody tell me? जे जो tax cut hala किम तार impact होची? Anybody? तार कम किम impact?
Consumption will increase.
अच्छा consumption will increase किमिति हाला? Disposable income. एटा कहा ऊपरे माने किए गोटे बड़ा बड़ा माने जो इकोनॉमिस्ट ए विषय कहितले किए गोटे हार्वर्ड नहीं केन्स कहितले यार केन्स कले हार्वर्ड को पाखर तुम कुआडे चली गलो हार्वर्ड डमार पाखु चली गलो तुम इमिति बुद्धि कले किम दो पुणी मु तो मुंडो मोर खराब ला का हार्वर्ड हेतियो कहूची एते कॉन्फिडेंटली देखो केते कॉन्फिडेंस से कहूची हार्वर्ड में एते कॉन्फिडेंस अरे जॉन मेनर्ड केन्स तुम कुआडे सब जाउचो से केन्स बुढ़ा को छाड़ी के तुम कुआडे जाउचो तू ये सब होची इट वाज केन्स रो कोन थ्योरी थिला ऑनलाइन पिले को एमपीसी marginal propensity to consume. Marginal propensity to consume. कौन केन्स कहितला जे
Delta C by Y. Delta Y.
if income increases by delta Y, what would be the total effect? What sabu please note down. If people's income, please note down, if people's income increases, tax cut will increase habo ki nahi? So if the income increases, income increase ko hame kahuche delta Y. Is that clear? Is that clear to all of you? If income increases by say 5 crores. So Keynes कहला तार impact हवा कितने हवा 5 into 1 by 1 minus MPC. What is MPC? Marginal propensity to consume. What is marginal propensity to consume? What is marginal propensity? Del by del Y. What is MPC? Increase in consumption to increase in income. Dara income increase kala 100 टंका. Consumption increase kala 80. Tell what is the MPC? 0.8. Is that clear? So, have you all understood? Have you all understood or not?
Yes, sir.
MPC is what? Del C by del Y. Increase in consumption. Now, if you're a rich man like Deepak, his MPC would be 50 by 100. Katala. So what is the MPC for him? 0.5. More मध्यवित्त परिवार लोको मिडिल क्लास तेणु तार एमपीसी केते आला 0.5 मोर एमपीसी आला जोक्स नहीं बड़ा सीरियसली कथा होछि फॉर ए मिडिल क्लास प्लीज नोट डाउन they have assessed that the MPC would be 0.8 माने जहां टैक्स कट रे धर मु पाइली 6000 टंका टैक्स कट पाइली से थ्रू 80% मु खर्च करी. Is that clear to all of you? On an average, I will get 6,000 rupees per month. Say just 6,000 ro, how much would I spend? 4,800. Have you understood? Are you understanding or not? So when Del Y is 5 crores and you have middle class. So what would be the increase? It would be 5 into 1 by 1 minus 0.8. How much would be the increase? 5 into 5, that is 25 crores. Is that clear? If you are a middle class, try to understand this very clearly. If you are a middle class and your MPC is how much? 0.8. So for a tax cut of 5 crores, the total increase in expenditure would be 5 into 1 by 1 minus 0.8, which is 25. Are you all getting me? This is the basis on which the tax cut has been given. तो किसी बुझा गला की नहीं ना, बुझा गला की नहीं, हाँ ना, बुझी पालो दी, बुझी पालो तो. So the entire stimulus is based on Keynesian theory. Please note down Keynesian theory of consumption function. Now, for instance, please note down in 2018. Please note down in 2019. Aji kuda bahut badhiya article asti. 2019 re the tax on the corporate sector was cut by 5%. Please note down. In 2019, the corporate tax rate was reduced by 5%. Why was it reduced? One of the objective was that please note down, the private sector would invest more. Please note down that the private sector would invest more. अरे जो cut पायला, जो benefit पायला, बुझे तो? Have you understood? But the story of India is that they did not increase investment. Please note down. Instead, they have got a benefit of 8 lakh crores for the last 5 years. Please note down. बुझी पड़चो कि नहीं? आमर जो कहूचे जे प्राइवेट सेक्टर को हमें incentivize कले, कौन कले? By reducing the tax rate. So thinking that whatever extra profit they are going to get, they will invest. अरे 30 रो बुझी पड़चो ना नहीं? 23 रो से माने 26 करेली बसतिले. से किंतु 23 रो 26 न करी एगुडा को सबु खाली प्रॉफिट बदेले. एटा होची इंडिया रा दुख. बुझल तो? तो बारंबार चीफ इकोनॉमिक एडवाइजर जो कहूची जे प्राइवेट सेक्टर हैज made a lot of money. Please note down the net profit to GDP ratio. Please note down the net profit to GDP ratio. It is one tame Deepak bhi. The net profit to GDP ratio of the top 500 companies was 2.5% in 2019. It has gone up to 4.8% in 2024. Have you understood? Pura entire tax collection, benefit, they have not passed it on to investment. Semane tankar sa profit, tanka petto bodi chari choti. Are buji porcho na nahi? The private sector has only increased the fat content. That is why today India, so all the time the finance minister, the chief economic advisor, please note down, one of the biggest challenges of India is that the private sector is not making investment like the public sector. Please note down. In India today, except for a few companies, what are the 3 companies which are investing now? Today, Tatas, Ambanis and Adanis. They account for 90% of private sector investment. Please note down. There's a beautiful article in Economist last week. 90% of private sector investment is by these 3 entities. Baki ke fresh investment kichi kod na. Sabbu profit da nekiri bossoni chapi ki bochoti. The other problem, please note down, the other problem is that they are not sharing their profit with their employees. Please note down. One of the big challenges of India is that whatever concessions, please note down very carefully, whatever concessions are being given to the corporate sector, they are not passing it on to their employees, nor are they increasing their investment. Please note karo, it's a both important point. When government is giving a concession to the private sector in terms of tax rate cut, it is expecting two things. One, that it will invest more, and B, whatever profits it is making, additional profit it is making, it will share with the employees. So, say the Chief Economic Advisor Kochi, the corporate sector today is a swimming in profit. Please note down. They are swimming in profit. Kim they swim koruchi? 2.5% ru 4.8%. ସବୁ tax pass ଦେଇକିରି ସେଟା 5% ଉପରେ ବସିଛି. Are you understanding the problem today of India? On the other hand, the government has realized ଯେ ଏଗୁଡାକୁ tax cut ନ ଦେଇକିରି ଯଦି middle class କୁ ଦିଆ ହବ ତାହେଲେ ସେଟା ଖର୍ଚ୍ଚ କରିବେ. ବୁଝି ପାରୁଛ ତ? Have you understood? अरे बुझी पड़तु कि नहीं? ये जो बुद्धिमती महिला जो अच्छी हमरो निर्मला सीतारामन साको ए बुद्धि उठे किए देइची कहला मैडम जम्मा ही प्राइवेट सेक्टर दियंतु नि उडा खाली चोरोडा खाए के सब तापर बसी जिवे. They will only improve their reserves and surpluses, but comparing जो balance sheet reserves and surplus को बढ़ाइबे. They will only increase their reserves and surpluses. They will not plow it back for new investment. Not the sharing with the employees. So, our workers mane disgruntled hochandi. Yes, amaro khali 2% बढ़ुची यानकर तो बढ़ी चालची अधिका. That disparity is going. That is why, please note down, income inequality is also increasing. Please note down. Income income inequality kahi kam बढ़ुची? Because the net income of the corporates is increasing faster than the salary increase. Salary almost increase करनी. Real terms से बहुत income increase करची. बुझी पड़तो ना नहीं? अरे ताकर salary ना body ले से consumption करिवो. तो कौन करिवो? अरे मते मोरो DA बढ़िवो 4%. ऐसा 4% तो inflation अच्छी मोर बढ़िवो consumption कोठी. अरे बुझो कथा. हमें तो बुझी पड़तो ना नहीं? हमें तो DA पाउच 4% बढ़ुची. तो 4% तो inflation होची. और कंजम्पशन बढ़िया केमती जदि हमको 6000 टका हाथ को मिलला ताहाले जाईकरी मो स्त्री जानि कि कहबे कि आउटी खाया को जीवा दी थरा आउटी मो पारी सोना फुलोटी किनिबा ए सब किने खर्च करिवो से बुझ पड़तो ना कथा. So that is why, so this is therefore a very insightful budget. So in terms of the direction, it's a very good direction that the budget has made. Very good direction, and she has to be complimented for them. So please note down one last line before you all guys will make presentation. Instead of giving tax relief to the corporate sector, which has little spin-off, in terms of additional investment, which has little spin-off in terms of additional investment, the government is trying to give relief to the middle class, which will promote additional consumption and consequently encourage private sector to invest more. 6000 टका मुझे अधिक खाई मुझे 3टा शर्ट किनिली जो रेमंड कंपनी कहवा नाइ साला शर्ट टी बेसी करिया साला बुढ़ा आसलानी बुढ़ा भी कोन कोची शर्ट पट किनियो बोली कहूची. हां कोट रिजर्वेशन जो ना प्राइवेट सेक्टर जो देखला जे डिमांड बढ़िले तांकर इन्वेस्टमेंट बढ़िबो एडा सब केन्सियन थ्योरी. So let us quickly go through the other things. So बुझी पालो तमरा क्लियर consumption boost of middle class through tax cuts, boost private sector investment. Please note down capex thrust maintained. The thrust of the capital expenditure has been maintained. capex thrust mane public sector investment. Please note down public sector investment. Now please remember, public sector investment is an endogenous factor. What is an endogenous factor? Within the control of the government. Private sector investment is an exogenous factor. It is sarkar ka. So government can ensure this. Fiscal consolidation continues. Please note down. Fiscal consolidation means that ame fiscal deficit ko kamauche. We are trying to reduce fiscal deficit. This is what we call as fiscal consolidation continues. Then the thrust is on agriculture and MSME. Amara dino pandita ta upare bartan ta upar bhashan debe agriculture MSE upare. Ta upare dekha employment generation. Please note down, this is employment generation is also a thrust area of this budget. Eighth या पूर्वर सरकार दीटा इनिशिएटिव नहीं कौन लेख गोटे PLI प्रोडक्टिविटी लिंक्ड इंसेंटिव स्कीम प्लीज नोट डाउन आ गोटे ELI एम्प्लॉयमेंट लिंक्ड इंश्योरेंस स्कीम मुझे कहबी तुमको तुम एटा पढ़िबो व्हाट हैज बीन द प्लीज नोट डाउन व्हाट इज द इंपैक्ट ऑफ PLI एंड ELI ऑन एम्प्लॉयमेंट हैला PLI और ELI रा कोन इंपैक्ट हेची सरकार करो तुम देखिबो तुम तापरे इंपोर्ट टैरिफ स्टैस्ट इंपोर्ट टैरिफ कमा हेची हैला तापरे क्लीन एनर्जी पर्टिकुलर लिथियम आयन बैटरीज तार सब इंपोर्ट ड्यूटी कमी जाइछि सो गवर्नमेंट इज ट्राइंग टू एनकरेज प्रोडक्शन ऑफ लिथियम आयन बैटरीज विद इन द कंट्री सो देयरफॉर द थ्रस्ट इज ऑन क्लीन एनर्जी एंड लास्ट हला FDI cap on insurance remove these are the 7 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 these are the 8 major areas of the budget. Now also so now she will make a presentation. Yes hatre ye presentation kara chhe hatre ko to ko hum boch ko 5 minute ko je ko aso idea chale ase Dr. Rina will now give a lecture on what Madam has done. Ko kunchati mujhe budget ke edi budget ha chal to na na to bas ja देखिए कौन से कहूची कौन करूची क्या हाँ को तो
Hello. So I am covering the primary engine that Mrs. FM has said, the agriculture area. Government has allocated 1,71,437 crore in agriculture sector.
1.7 lakh crores.
Yes. Sir,
why agriculture is important? Why agriculture is important?
sir, agriculture.
Why agriculture is important?
Sir, agriculture is important because of agriculture sector covering many our yes, sir, our food.
Of people employed in agriculture sector?
Sir,
46%.
46%.
46%.
And GDP share is 70%. 16%. 16 to 17%. Sir, sir, according to economic surveys, agriculture sector has registered an average annual growth rate that over the last 5 years it covers 4.18%. Yes. Sir, schemes regarding agriculture in this financial 2025 is PM Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana. That is, government has expenditure is 1.37 lakhs crore. And in this scheme, government covering the 100 districts those districts whose cover drought condition, not good in soil condition, and low production. So this scheme's aim is increase agricultural productivity, promote crop diversification, improve post-harvest storage at panchayat and block levels, and
when you, what I'm trying to tell you is that presentation just show it, then explain the whole thing.
yes,
Then it will be better. Next, so when the presentation is going on, because this is already available. This is already available. This is already available. So that's the more people very good. Give her a big hand. ସବୁ available ଅଛି तम budget document रे. Okay. So सेई थ्रू मु ही करची. माने मु टिके naturally next. We will now look at a very interesting area called the tax cut. यहाँ पर three articles have been written, and let us now see what is the implication of all that. Okay. Tax cut will affect 47 million. I'm 37, 47. Please note down 47 million. And the government has assumed a multiplier of 0.8. Is that clear? So when government is saying that we are cutting the tax, and how much the government is foregoing? 1 lakh crore, which is 0.3% of the GDP. Please note down 0.3% of the GDP. ता माने 1% of GDP केते हला 3 लाख कोटी. Just note down. GDP हला केते 3 लाख कोटी. 3 लाख कोटी माने 100% हले केते हला 300 लाख कोटी. So that is $3 trillion. हला. That is बुझी पड़तो तो तमे सब मोटा मोटा 3 लाख कोटी हला 1% GDP. So 0.3% government. Please note down कि काहे कि corporate sector invest करूनी काहे कि एमते गालमी होउचंती सेमाने तमे तो कहबो सर आपण आमु खाली अटैक करचंती आपण आमु कथा बुझु नांती अरे सेमाने तांकर भी तो गोटे किछ कहबार अछि ना अरे सेमाने कि गोटे काहे करूना तार गोटे किछ पागल तो नहुंती काहे करूना प्लीज नोट डाउन corporate investment please note down is a function of corporate investment is a function of what? Capacity utilization. Please note down capacity utilization. Tapare competitiveness and cost of credit. Please note down. Corporate investment is a function of 3 C's. Please note down. Corporate investment is a function of 3 C's. What are the 3 C's? Capacity utilization. If they find that their capacity create karchanti utilization is less than 50%, most units will not invest further. So please note down, as a benchmark, if the capacity utilization is less than 70%, the corporate sector would be disinclined to invest. Capacity utilization माने कोन केते तमे तकर माने दरसमा 100 टा स्कूटर करचंती 70 टा किना होची की अरे बुझन तो that is 70%. बुझी पड़छ ना नहीं एटा तो एक्सरे मिश्र तक भाषण दे देला जे तमे काहे करनो तमे सब पैसाडा खाई देउ से सर देखंतु मोर कैपेसिटी यूटिलाइजेशन ही होनी मु एते स्टील बनौची 50% स्टील मोर सब बैकेट रे पड़ी रहउची why will he invest more बुझी पड़छ ना नहीं अरे why China is dumping steel on you because they are किनेउ की नांती so that is how it is dumping on you at very low rates बुझी पड़छ तो There are many countries which are surplus in steel, cement. Sen ko India ko देदबा आमे को सीमेंट करके क्वाड नबे उड़ा आउ किछि दियो भलो रोल फॉल दियो खाया को दियो चिकन दियो बिरयानी दियो उड़ा खाइबा टिके. So capacity utilization. Second la competitiveness. Please note down competitiveness. Is my product going to be competitive? Unless you are a monopoly, please note down. Unless you are a monopoly, तुम इंडियन ऑयल कॉर्पोरेशन है तुम कि चिंता नहीं सला 80 टंका हो कि 85 हो कि 90 टंका हो एसन मिश्रा पेट्रोल पकेओ गाड़ी रे क्वाड जीव से. So please note down competition is also very important. Supposing you are producing finished garments, if you find that you are not able to compete with Thailand or Bangladesh, would you like to increase your production? Are you following me? And the last, please note down, is cost of credit. Please note down. कौन तीनटा जिनस हला? Capacity utilization, cost of credit कहाँ पर depend करूची? Repo rate ऊपर. Please note down. Repo rate जदि ए फेब्रुआरी कमेवे ताहाल जायकरी सार को कहवे जे बहुत भला गुड बाय आवर शक्तिकांत दास रा कहीं गला से कहला 6 जमा कमेले से कहला नाइ मु आउ कमेबेनी बहुत कमे मते बहुत हैरान करो मु कमेबे. So cost of, so therefore please note down monetary policy, whether monetary policy is in tandem with fiscal policy. Please note down when you are reading the budget, please note down when you are reading the budget, we have to also see how is the monetary policy behaving with fiscal policy. जदि यही सब कंसेशन दिला को से रेपो रेट आउ 0.5% बढ़ाई देला अरे बुझुछ ना नहीं से प्राइवेट सेक्टर इन्वेस्टमेंट बढ़ेबो क्यों अरे बुझु कि नहीं कथा गुड़ाक. सो एवरीबॉडी इज एक्सपेक्टिंग ए बजेट पर मॉनेटरी जो रेपो रेट कमियो. मु भी तांका पछरे पड़ी सब आर्टिकल लिखुची रेपो रेट कमो नांती मु भी तांका पछरे लागि रेपो रेट कमेले ताले इन्वेस्टमेंट बढ़ियो. आर यू ऑल गेटिंग मी? So please note down capacity utilization today in India is reasonably healthy. Please note down is reasonable around 73%. Around 73% is the capacity utilization across the board. So it is not bad. It is good. But the 70 ru adhika hala meter teno tame thik thak achi. Kintu it will depend on sector to sector. Please note down. It will depend on sector to sector. Auto sector would be different from textiles, heavy industry, or sub pharmaceutical. Pratik sector, please note down, pratik sector. So that is why budget is a challenge because every sector is looking at the rate. Co-import rate achi, so they will look at that only. But say article re, budget re, everybody is looking at his own benefit. माने जिमती गुड़ा एलिफेंट टाइप रो माने लाइक ब्लाइंड पीपल से देखियो जे ए दांत अछि रे माने एवरी किछि नाही बजेट रे मो पे किछि नाही माने देखो माने मो स्त्री भलिया लोक से मते फोन करछि केतरा पायो कारण से देखला से नॉर्मली से बजेट केबे छडी न थाए माने कले बोर कराओ 3 घंटा बची बोर करियो मते बची करी बट शी वाज वेरी एक्साइटेड कारण इथे ताको पैसा पत्र मिले चांस अछि समस्त देखुछन सर कौन फायदा अछि बुझला कि किछि नाही सर फायदा फालतू बजेट सर खाली गोटे किंतु समस्त बहुत खुशी सर टका देछि बोली हैला. टैक्स कट ऑन कॉर्पोरेट 2019 केते गवर्नमेंट फॉरगो करिछि 8 प्लीज नोट ऑन 8 लाख crore the government has forgone during the last 5 years. Please note down. Aji 1 lakh crore is city sir 1.5 lakh crore we have forgone every year. अरे बुझो कि नहीं एगुडा को सब क्वाइटली जानी पारनांती लोक बुझी पड़छो तो अरे when you are giving a tax cut to the corporate how much are they benefiting you do not know but they have benefited by almost 1.5 lakh crore. Are you getting my point? No commensurate increase in investment. What has happened? Profit to GDP income has increased to 4.6%. जोड़ा कही तुमको बुझी पड़छो बुझी पड़छो कि नहीं तेले मैडम देखिबे जे काहे कि ताको देलेनी करे एडा का सब पैसा खाई दीचंती किंतु केही किछु सो प्राइवेट कैपेक्स नॉट कीपिंग विथ तीसरा पत्र पड़छि Just a minute. Hello? Hello? So, but one very good thing that has happened, please note down, one very good thing that has happened is the share of direct tax, aji paper varchi, share of direct tax has increased from 52% to 59%. कहीं एटा भलो कथा है मते कहले टिके मैडम कहले तुम तो बहुत बड़ बुद्धिया तुम पूरा मास्टरानी तुम कहले टिके कौन स्टेटमेंट आ देली व्हाट इज द स्टेटमेंट द शेयर डायरेक्ट टैक्सेस हैज इंक्रीज्ड फ्रॉम 52% to almost 59%. why is it good 1 minute से कहउ जंतु से पचराटा कें होची से बैट्समैन क्रीज रे अछि तमे से बाहर के बाउंड्री लाइन नो पाटी होची को तब जानते हो को direct tax, please note down, is progressive in character. Direct tax is progressive in character. कहइतले सब तबे तो बुद्धिया छटे indirect tax GST is regressive in character. क्रोसिन टे किनिमो तुमको 6% दाउ पड़िबो अनिल अंबानी को यदि गाड़ी देला ताको तार वाइफ से भी क्रोसिन टे किनिबो तर मुकेश अंबानी को ता स्त्री गालटे दला काई से झेउटा को लाइन मारथलो से दीपिका को लाइन मारथलो से पाटरे से भी सला क्रोसिन किनिबो करियो कि नहीं अरे ताकू भी क्रोसिन दरकार ना तो गालटा खाइबो ता स्त्री टू काई से लाइन मारथलो से पार्टी रे देखथि मु बहुत एक्साइटेड है कि दीपिका से डांस डांस होतला सो ही आल्सो पेज हाउ मच 6% हमर जो सरकार घरे काम करूची सीसा मोटू गाड़ी खेले तो मो स्त्री तो गेले काहे पोछुनु तार सा काहे के मते मुंडा गोटे क्रोसिन दे दियो से भी क्रोसिन दे खाउची सो क्रोसिन रो टैक्स ता केते 6% ब्रेड तमे खाउचो ये दीपिका भी खाउची सब से 6% बिस्कुट सब समान है ना तमे भी खाउचो जो क्रैकजैक बिस्कुट से भी खाउची क्रैकजैक बिस्किट सो दैट इज रिग्रेसिव इन कैरेक्टर आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट the same taxes are being paid by rich people and by poor people. So therefore, please note down, a good tax system is one where indirect tax is less and direct tax is more. Are you all getting me? जो सबले कहूचे जीएसटी बढ़ी गला जीएसटी बढ़ला माने गरीब लोक को पेट्रे लात मारुछु तमे बुझी पड़छ ना नहीं try to understand this when somebody says the GST collection has increased किमिति बढ़ला गरीब लोकंग पेट्रे लात मारी किरी जीएसटी कलेक्शन हैज नॉट इंक्रीज्ड इन परफ्यूम जीएसटी कलेक्शन हैज इंप्रूव्ड इन नेसेसरी गुड्स प्लीज नोट डाउन all the necessary food items please note down necessary food items medicine clothing items so all the necessary food items clothing items, reading material, medicine. So one of the recommendation which we have made, ये यही सब item गुड़ा को review करी bring down the rates. Today the rates in many of them are very high. Are you all getting me? Why it is high? Because they are getting more money. समते खाइए बुझल कि तमे कहि परिबो इजीली जे लाइफ सेविंग ड्रग So cancer drugs are कम करचंदे था बुझे ना तो they can have differential rates also for cancer drugs but one suggestion could has been that you have differential rates for life saving drugs बुझी पड़छ ना नहीं so 8 एता बुझी गेल तमे जे so therefore 8 एटा भलो है is that clear to all of you is a good thing एटा गोटा स्टॉपी दियो आमे गोटा health of a budget please note down the health of a budget is seen from budget at a glance सार जोटा तुमको देले या परे एटा होती प्रथमटा गोटे बजेट एट ए ग्लांस प्लीज नोट डाउन बजेट एट ए ग्लांस दिस इज आर्टिकल 112 प्लीज नोट दिस इज आर्टिकल 1 एटा गोटे बजेट रा गोटे पार्ट ऑफ द डॉक्यूमेंट हला तो गोटे हमर अछि क्षेत्र अछि एक्सपेंडिचर स्टेटमेंट्स एक्सपेंडिचर स्टेटमेंट रे एटा आछि हला नाउ ऑल ऑफ यू प्लीज पे अटेंशन ओके आमे एटा आज एंड करिवा बुझ तो केते रे गेला हां एटा आमे एटा रे एंड करिवा बट लेट हां कोन कहले आउ गोटे क्लास को नै जी के आई विल टेक वन मोर क्लास टुमारो मोर अछि इथरे कोठी कहला हमरो मोर काली अछि ठीक कोन कहला यो चार्टर्ड ओ जो सीएमए नै तकर जो अछि जो चार्टर्ड अरे कोटा कल्याण मंडप ने मुझे पुलिस कमिश्नर आप पाखरे जो अछि वो चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट का नहीं आईसीडब्ल्यू रो नहीं सेटा गोटे सबुटु भलो मोस्ट प्रेस्टिजियस प्लेस रे काली अछि देखियो गले सैटरडे आई कैन हैव Saturday is okay with all of you? Huh? Tell pura okay. I can take तुम तो संडे तो रहो ना संडे टा संडे संडे के पिरो संडे तो सकाळे हाँ संडे provided all of you come हाँ तापर को तो आपको तो गुटी करतियो म आधी घंटा नै थाले को तो बुझतो संडे तमे आफ्टरनून करे चाहू छ नो प्रॉब्लम 9 to 11 तो समत आसियो म आसीबी कारण आई पुट इन लॉट ऑफ एफर्ट ऑन दिस कोनटा मैडम हस्सी के मोर को हंस लागुची देखो हां हां तब आसियो बोले मत को टेस्ट पे करतो वो एग्जैक्टली 9 टा पळे आसी इज दैट फाइन विथ ऑल ऑफ यू कि तमे आसियो सेता बेले दांत नगसी के आसियो नि किंतु दांत घसी के आसियो हला हम आसियो तो पक्का ओके सो वी विल एंड विथ दिस नाउ लेट अस लुक एट व्हाट आई विल डू तमे एटा सर्कुलेट कर दियो पिलांग संग कर दियो तमे पढी के आस्तिबो देखि आस्तिबो तापर ताले वी कैन माने 1.5 घंटा सरजो आउ 1.5 घंटा टा सरजो एक्जेक्टली 9 रे आरंभ करबा 10:30 सरजो हैला सो नाउ लेट अस लुक एट दिस व्हाट डिड आई से बजेट इज अ स्टेटमेंट ऑफ एक्सपेंडिचर एंड receipts so receipts रे कोन हला revenue receipts now please note down revenue receipt consists of tax and non tax receipts revenue receipts include tax and non tax receipts okay so what do you find in 23-24 what was the total revenue receipt ketera and 24-25 what is b hela the projection माने एटा बजेट पूर्वरु बीटा केते बेले करथिले निर्मला सीतारमण जेतले फेब्रुअरी 2023 रे करथिले आर यू ऑल गेटिंग मी इन 20 February 24 प्लीज नोट डाउन इन February 24 सी हैड मेड एन असेसमेंट जे हमर रेवेन्यू रिसीट केते हबो 31.2 हला जेतेबेले बर्तमान प्रेजेंट करछंती फेब्रुअरी 25 रे से देखछंती व्हाट इज द एक्चुअल 30.8 so what is the variation only 0.4 lakh crores please note down any variation within 10% please note down any variation within 10% will not be subject to public accounts review आवर जो सीएनडी अछि तांकर जो पब्लिक अकाउंट्स कमिटी अछि only when the variation is more or less than 10% please note down then only the CNDG will ask for explanation public बुझ पड़छ तो नहीं अरे बुझ पालनी आमर जो CNDG अछि तांकर ओटा पब्लिक अकाउंट्स कमिटी अछि से माने देखिबे जे तमे जहां बी प्रोजेक्ट करिचो आउ एक्चुअल अछि द वेरिएशन इज प्लस माइनस 10 प्लस यदि बेसी हला कम हला tahale they will ask questions. Se kahin ki ete shortfall hala. So this is quite all right. And what is the B now? 34. So what is the, please note down, what is the increase in the receipts that we are expecting? Around 12%. Please note down, around 12%. Kete thila? 31 ru 34 kale, about 10% increase hame revenue receipt. Please note down. Mane ei jo data guda diya jauchi, how we interpret the data is most important. Please note down. This is very, very important. तमें खाली उठे डेटा देखी करे खाली माने there is a certain meaning to that. इतने कौन हम पूछुचे जे हमारा actual आउ कले जो projection रे इसे difference नहीं. Are you getting my point? Whatever the government had projected and what the government actually achieved, there was very little variation. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Are you getting my point? Now let us see in the year 25-26. What is the projection? Je aao 10% adhika, around 10% more. So people like C. Rangarajan, please note on C. Rangarajan, je earlier Reserve Bank governor thile, a very respected person. Today in an editorial, he has said that this is very conservative. Secondly, India has been achieving 15 to 16% in the past. Je amara revenue receipt हमें भाबुचे जे 15-16% हबो बोली. So therefore you see here it केते हितला 27 रु 31 केते हितला ताले 15% increase थिला. Have you seen that? So therefore the government is purposefully undershowing माने underplaying receipts. अरे बुझु के नहीं कथा. अरे जितने टैक्स रिसीट बढ़िबो सेते कि तमरा बोरिंग टा कम होबनी की. What he is saying is because जदि एटा को हमें 36 ही थांदा ताल तमरा बोरिंग टा कम हिता ना नहीं. बुझि मोर कथा बुझ पछु के नहीं.
Yes.
जदि so therefore Rangarajan has criticized this budget because he thinks that the projection for receipt is on the lower side. ता माने हमें टैक्स भलो करी कलेक्ट करे को चाहू नहीं. We don't want to collect more from the corporates. अरे बुझी पड़छु कि नहीं. अमन भाई कहे सार काहे कि हम पछे लागि जंती टैक्स रेट कम देखांतु. अरे बुझी पड़छु ने कथा. Now we come to capital receipts. So capital receipts are borrowing. So how much was the borrowing in 23-24? And what was the borrowing B in 24-25? कितने हला? So have you done well or have you done better? We have done well. By कौन कही थी? Fiscal consolidation. Borrowing has come down. Are you getting my point? Borrowing has come down and we are trying to bring it down further. So this line shows, please note down, that government wants to borrow less, but it is projecting less on receipts. Borrowing is slightly less, but receipt, it could have shown more. Now let us come to, please note down, revenue expenditure. Revenue expenditure. Revenue expenditure 34.9, 37 and 36.9. So have you done well or have you done badly? Bad. Na कम खर्च को bad है गला. अरे revenue. अरे revenue. कौन टा कहलो? We have done well. से कहीं की bad को कौन तरह उसने कौन इसी कौन? So why is he becoming a bad boy? पाटरू हर पल्ला. अब एबे कौन है इसी सरकार तोड़ी पढ़े. Now you come to, please note down, the most important thing is capital expenditure. What has happened in capital expenditure? We have underspent by 1 lakh crore. Please note down. Eita advertise ho nahi. Je sarakar lakhe koti tanga kam kharcha karchi. Are you all getting me? Ei katha na ke kau nahanti. Samaste kauchandi sarkar 11 lakh kharcha 11 lakh tanga kharcha karibo. But nobody is saying that government has surrendered 1 lakh crore. Please note down. This is one issue. किंतु people like me, जे budget टा पढ़ियो से खाली खूणो बाहर करिवो. आमर काम हला खुण बाहर करबा कोन बुझे नाही अरे बुझी पड़छ कि नहीं हैव यू अंडरस्टूड और नॉट अंडरस्टूड ए डॉक्यूमेंट रे केमति बुझो तो केमति हो सब सो रेवेन्यू डेफिसिट is coming down and it will still come down and fiscal deficit will also come down. So please sum it up. So if I have to sum up the budget at a glance, please note down. Let us summarize it. So what is the budget at a glance shows? The budget at a glance shows that India has generally performed well on revenue receipts, contained borrowing and fiscal deficit. Contained borrowing and fiscal deficit. However, the projection for revenue receipts could have been better. Projection for capital for revenue receipts could have been better. Also, the government should find out the reasons for surrender of 1 lakh crore in capital expenditure. बुझी पड़छ सेई तरह सरकार देखियो जे कोटी कोटी कम खर्च करिछि कारण एठी public accounts committee ताको धरिबे people like us who are in the public accounts committee. So we'll end with this. Okay, एटा होची anything else you want to say? Go. बुझी गला पिला माने आमे so on Sunday तो please notify exactly I'll come at 9 o'clock. You don't delay at all कारण मु मंडे दिन पळेबी बॉम्बे पळेबी so I do. So I want to complete. Is that okay with all of with you, sir? Sure. Okay, so
so first of all, I'll thanks sir. मो माने आमे बजेट तमे कोठी भी पढ़ी दियो माने ओडिसा माने इंडिया देखरे सब चैनल रे पढ़ाउची बजेट हम पढ़ी दियो जदी एत्तिके डिटेल रे और एत्तिके एनालिसिस रे को भी चैनल रे ओडिसा कोनी थ्रू आउट इंडिया रे जदी की एनालिसिस करी तुमको देई देला ताहले आसी मु 100% गारंटी दे की कहूची जे मु बहुत गुडे चैनल भी देखिची बट सच माने एत्ते डेप्थ रे माने बजेट को अंडरस्टैंडिंग करी की पढ़ेबा ओडिसा छाडी दे जदी इंडिया रे की तुमको एत्तिकी डेप्थ रे बुझाई देला ताल तमे कहबो जस्ट सी दिस वीडियो रिकॉर्डिंग वीडियो आउ गोटे थरा देखो ओके तो एत्ते डिटेल रे माने माने वी आर रियली फॉर्चुनेट टू हैव सर की बजेट एत्ते जोडा की वेरी वेरी इंपोर्टेंट फॉर आवर एग्जामिनेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू हो इंटरव्यू पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू हो तमे कोनोसी भी जिंस इंटरप्रेट करूछ तो तार जो डेप्थ रो अंडरस्टैंडिंग जो अच्छी तो सर जो जो गुडा को कहिले इवन इफ मु सर पढ़िया पूर्व मु काले पिला बुझी पारिए न बुझी पारिए से गोटे क्लास मु करी थिली किंतु सर को माने क्लास कला परे मु कहू जे आई हैव नॉट टीचिंग एनीथिंग ओके माने मु तुम कही थिली किंतु जो डेप्थ रे आज माने तमे बुझिलो आउ सिखिलो एंड तुम भाबो सर होचंदी इंडियन इकोनॉमिक सर्विस तेणु जे इंडिया रो बजेट को एते डेप्थ रे एनालिसिस करिया सारंकर डीडी न्यूज रे भी सर जाइथिले एनालिसिस करिया पई डिफरेंट प्लेटफॉर्म रे ओडिसा रे एनालिसिस करू छंती तेणु एते डेप्थ रे यू कैन नॉट माने गेट दिस नॉलेज एनीवेयर माने तमे जाई कि कोठी भी देखो कौन सी यूपीएससी रो जो चैनल देखो कि कोठी भी देखो एते डेप्थ रे सर जो कहिले जस्ट माने ए जो माने स्लाइड सर करी छंती जे टैक्स कट जे जनरल पब्लिक मानक टैक्स कट कले से मानकर डिस्पोजेबल इनकम ता बढ़िले तो सो माने माने इन्वेस्टमेंट करिवे और बाय करिवे सो दैट डिमांड बढ़िबो इकोनॉमी ता बूस्ट अप हबो रादर देन कॉर्पोरेट को हमें जो 30 रु 25 कर देले से माने प्रॉफिट ने की बसी गले कोनोसी इन्वेस्टमेंट करलेनी जा फल रे की ना इकोनॉमी रो ग्रोथ हला ना प्रॉफिट से मानकर भी जो प्रॉफिट तांको भी दिया गला डिविडेंड एंड जो शेयर रे डिविडेंड एंड प्रॉफिट भी तांको देलेनी ना लोक मानक पाखु जाईतले से भी किनी थांते सेडा भी हलानी ए माने भी इन्वेस्टमेंट करलेनी तो जो आमे कहिले एते डेप्थ रे सर सब जिंस गुडा को कले एंड जो नंबर जो तार जो कैलकुलेशन नंबर सर कले तो सब गुडा को माने आ पर बजेट हम पढिबो ए जो नंबर हमरो इन्वेस्टमेंट केमिति कमी कोन पई कमी एते जो डाटा कोठी को डाटाटा दरकार तो तार पूरा पिक्चरटा जदि जने देखिबो खाली स्लाइड टा भी देखि दबो जे कोन पई तमर गोटे टोटल थरो नॉलेज रहिबो बजेट ऊपर एंड जो माने देखिनो प्लीज जो माने ऑनलाइन की ऑफलाइन जो माने देखिनो प्लीज माने डोंट मिस दिस वीडियो
Sir,
हाँ सर
Deepak sir.
हाँ को
Sir, actually, I want to express my heartful thanks to sir. So really, whenever I read this budget, so at that time I have lots of doubts, and I did not expect कि such kind of class I will attend, and after that, कि how much I understand exactly. I cannot express that things ki how much I understand, and I definitely go through this video once more or one times or two times more for better understand. Really sir, it's a very nice and wonderful session.
जो माने मेन भी पिला परीक्षा दउछ प्लीज गाइस कारण जो भलिया क्वेश्चन तमर आसुची एनालिसिस बेस क्वेश्चन सारंकर जदी एनालिसिस तमे थर गोटे थर सुनी दउछ जो क्लास गुडा को सार करूछंती भाव सार एते डेप्थ रे करूछंती इज नॉट ओनली वन क्वेश्चन पूरा से एरिया रे जते क्वेश्चन पडिची से तेनु सारंकर गोटे भी जो वीडियो यू मस्ट एक्चुअली जो माने मेन प्रिपेयर करूछ और प्रीलिम गोटे क्लास सारंकर वेरी वेरी इंपोर्टेंट मु कहबी जे एइटा गोटे पूरा ओडिसा रो पूरा माने कहबी जे जते पिला हमें फ्रीली केते गोटे वीडियो छाडुछु YouTube रे तो पूरा टोटल ओडिसा रो एस्पिरेंट मानन पई एइटा गोटे सुवर्ण सुजोग मु कहबी जे एते डेप्थली अन्य कोठी तो कहउछंती जन टीचर पढौची से बजेट रो डॉक्यूमेंट देखेला मु कहि देबी जे हमरो जे प्रधानमंत्री जो धन धान्य योजना रे 100 टा हेची किंतु तार माने कोन इंप्लिकेशन कोन रहउची पूरा टोटल तो सेइटा हमें जो कहिले ग्राफ रो कहिले जे सार माने हमें देखु जे बजेट रे हमर 11 लाख कोटी टंका कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर हेची किंतु लास्ट ईयर 11 लाख कुहा जाइथिला किंतु एक्सपेंडिचर हेची 10 लाख 1 लाख हमर कम एक्सपेंडिचर एइटा जणे केवल इकोनॉमिस्ट ही धरि परिबा गोटे जनरल गोटे स्टूडेंट के जे पढुची से देखबन से खाली नंबर देखि पड़े ओके तो एते जो डिटेल रे हमें माने मु माने फास्ट तो मु कहबी जे गोटे मिनिट भी मु सानकर माने एते इनसाइटफुल क्लास थिला माने यू विल एंजॉय बुझी माने जे रियली ए जिंसोडा को धरिबो से एंजॉय करिवो से रियली ए क्लास ता गोटे मास्टर क्लास मु कहबी से बजेट ओके
और एनगेजेबल भी थिला सर, बहुत एनगेजेबल भी थिला।
So अच्छी डिटेल्स है एक्सपेंडिचर डिटेल्स आउथे रोड से कम खर्च करचंती रेलवे रे कम खर्च करचंती ना सुनो पता तो अनेक समय रे धर तमर वर्क का ऑर्डर करछ तो जे ऑन पर सिक्योर कंप्लीट करा ना पेमेंट नहीं करा so nobody wants to show that he has not spent fully माने जानकारी फटकारी सब धरा पड़े सब समझ धरा पड़े as a complicated this it is Indian country or outside country so total industry है सर ସେମାନେ ଗୋଟେ country ଭିତରେ ରହିଲେ ଯାହା tax pay କରିବାକୁ ମାନେ ଦେର ଯାକ tax ଦେବେ ଅଲଗା ଜାଗାରେ ରହୁଥିଲେ ସେଟା କରୁଛନ୍ତି so କଣ things ମାନେ ମାଷ୍ଟର କରିବାକୁ ତୁ ମାଇଗ୍ରେଟ କରିବୁ तो ये काली के रेट संडेट में कर गया आई थिंक जब जुलाई को सम इकोनॉमी माइग्रेटेड tax haven to tax concession power tax concession power इस पर tax तो on the ground पे भी बड़े हो गया राउंड ट्रिपिंग राउंड ट्रिपिंग माने कौन बहुत बुझे लोग राउंड ट्रिपिंग माने मत करो राउंड ट्रिपिंग माने कौन लाख मनीटा पठो ना लाख मनीटा पठो ना तो एक गुटे तो देखो एमती कहले तो असुविधा है एमती आज पाइबो इधर प्लीज लिसन टू प्रॉफिट तक 80 टैक्स दो ना तर सपोज सार हेले अंबानी 500 कोटी टका साल का प्रॉफिट है no प्लीज नोट डाउन थटर में कोनी 500 कोटी प्रॉफिट है so if he was to pay tax here he would have paid how much around 30% he would have paid so instead of paying tax on the profit of 500 crores he sends it to a tax haven to a cell company सेल कंपनी रे काम होला टंका रखिबा टंका बांटिबा ताको फोन कले एसएनएस को 5 कोटी दे सो तार काम होला टू रिसीव मनी प्लीज नो लिसन टू मी वेरी केयरफुली सेल कंपनी रे काम होला टू रिसीव मनी एंड टू गिव मनी तार काम होला सो जो सेल कंपनी कोन करिवो will render the tax return in Mauritius जो 500 कोटी टका में पठेरे सेल कंपनी को सो ही विल सबमिट द रिटर्न इन वेयर इन मॉरिशस एंड पे टैक्स ऑफ 5% सो हाउ मच इज ही सेविंग देयर हाउ मच इज सेविंग देयर 25% जो पैसा से सेव कला सेटा को से इंडिया को पठे देला एज एफडीआई प्लीज नोट डाउन यू सेड इट एज एफडीआई दिस इज कॉल्ड राउंड ट्रिपिंग आदानी को छाड़ तुम बहुत लोग करछो खाली आदानी छाड़ा के कोचस तो किसी काम करछि जे बुझि परछ ने सो फिर काहे कि असुविधा इधर भूलटा कोन अछि मते कहले ठीक मैडम कोन इधर रोजलिन कोन इधर डिफिकल्टी है ए जो कथरा बुझ पर नै यू अर्न प्रॉफिट हियर and instead of paying tax on the profit here you transfer that money to a tax haven where you pay 5% and the balance money you bring it back to your bank. What is wrong in this?
टैक्स इवेजन हला
Now, please remember, जो भी तुम्हारा सोर्स ऑफ इनकम है, please note down. जो भी तुम्हारा सोर्स ऑफ इनकम है, से तुमको टैक्स दो. DTM वर्ड जाओ जो डायरेक्ट टैक्स एग्रीमेंट से आसुची कवर होची कि तो बताओ छी if you are earning here, then you pay taxes. If you are a doctor in UK, you will pay tax. Then you pay. It has a basic. तबे इटा जो पैसा जो ट्रांसफर करूछ हैला सो इट इज एलिजिबल इटा उडा रॉन्ग देखो सेट पे डीटीए रहउची डायरेक्ट टैक्स एग्रीमेंट रहउची सेडा को तमे डिसएडवांटेज नि करबा तो एला सो सेल कंपनी को बुझी कोन कथा so it is not that the black money is being set, it is profit is being set and is being converted to black. Nah, so what is what? So top. It's very easy. Topping tax का यदि कोई तो topping tax का कौन?
सर माइक टा दिए सारुंग दियंतु
कौन टा कहले? ये topping tax कहि दो शनि रविवार दिन ताको मु डेफिनेटली पास करा देबी 500 रुपये ना से मत दबो भूल कहले से मत दबो अरे टॉबिंग टा के टॉबिन टा के प्लीज नोट डाउन जेम्स टॉबिन ही इज अ नोबेल प्राइज विनर इन इकोनॉमिक्स जेम्स टॉबिन अरे देखो जेम्स टॉबिन होची इन जो नोबेल प्राइज पाइथला सो टॉबिन देखला जे शेयर्स एंड सिक्योरिटी प्लीज नोट डाउन शेयर्स एंड सिक्योरिटी जोड़ा कहउछन्ती इनविजिबल रिसीट तमे जेते बेले जागा गोटे बुक करूछ कि घर किनुछ तमे कोन करूछ रजिस्ट्रेशन करूछ कि नहीं डू यू पे फॉर द रजिस्ट्रेशन और नॉट आर यू फॉलोइंग मी सो व्हेन यू सेल ऑफ दैट हाउस डू यू पे टैक्स ऑन द प्रॉफिट और नॉट कैपिटल गेन्स होछ ना नहीं ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड तमे दी 2 बेडरूम फ्लैट केलो 50 कोटी टंका रे 50 लाख टंका रे do you register it or not so it is tracked or not it is tracked in the government account नाउ ये कौन कला ताको 4 वर्ष परे से घरटा को 75 lakhs रे बिकला. So after accounting for the expenditure, her capital gains is 20 lakhs. So she pays a tax on 20 lakhs. How was it possible? Because the government has the record that तार गोटा घर थिला ताको से घरटा को से बिकला capital gains tax कर हला. But supposing you have a share and that share you sell it. So there is no way to track it. Are you getting my point? So Tobin कहला जे जो गुड़ा का invisible ता ऊपर गोटे tax बसाओ. ताले तमे track कर परिवो जितने से बिकीवो तमे track कर परिवो. Have you understood? No बुझेला नहीं. हाँ? शेयर तो तमरा शेयर की दिखाओ चिकी. तमे शेयर किनलो बापा को 10 टका मारी करी तमे 5-10 शेयर किनलो हैला. So before Tobin tax was introduced, there was no concept of registration of share and paying a tax on it. So you have to have a registration number जे तमे tax किनचो बोली हैला. So Tobin said just 0.005% ट्रैक हे गला. जेतल तमे शेयर ता किनलो जो शेयर ता किनथो 10,000 जोटा बिकुचो 15,000 रे, the profit will be taxed. So that is how capital gains will be taxed. এই জিনিসটা 93 রে জেমস টবিন বার করতলা. এইটাকো আমর जो पाजी चिदंबरम he introduced in 1998. समस्त कहले चिदंबरम करा माने चिदंबरम तो बुद्धि कुड आसला अमेरिका रे जेम्स टॉबिन टाइटा कटला. बुझी पड़छो थरा. Have you understood? So Tobin tax is a tax on invisibles, so that capital gains in an invisible form of income can be also taxed. बुझो कथा ठीक कथा कोन पथरची सर टॉबिन टैक्स ने सर पिला सब पागल कर देबे कि एतर बुझा गला कि नहीं. अरे बुझा गला कि नहीं नंबर.
Okay. So
ओडिसा रे केवल होची जुगल महापात्र एकी चीफ सेक्रेटरी थिला. तार टिके अछि जो बजेट ऊपर ताको सुविधा हो ताको टाइम से आसी